Well, here runs the Eurobandit here once again. Would you look at that? This is a pair of Yamaha NS-1000M high-end speakers. As you can clearly see, they kinda look rough, as if they've been in a war, but despite all that, they sound like brand new, so I'm gonna restore these things. They're not mine, they belong to a friend of mine. They're not really a pair actually, according to their owner. They are two Rise speakers, and this is how they look like. As you can no doubt see, they're both full of scratches and they do look quite beat up. As you can see, the edges don't look also great. You can clearly see the edges, they're quite rough. So this is pretty much how they look like. Quite rough. They require quite a bit of work. I just removed the drivers from one of the speakers, and this is pretty much how it looks like. On the inside it's stuffed with insulation, as you can clearly see, pretty much everywhere. Alright, so I've removed most of the insulation. However, didn't remove the insulation from the sides just yet. And this is how the crossover looks like. Now that's what I call a crossover. Take a look at those decent sized capacitors. In order to get these adjusters through the hole, I need to remove the front side. Alright, I now remove the crossover and pretty much everything. This is how they look like on the inside. As you can see, there's a big wooden circle in there. It could be weight balance, but I'll leave the insulation on the sides. Well, one speaker is nearly prepped for paint. I need to sand off the excess spackle. However, as you can no doubt see, it all turned out nice and smooth, and it really looks beautiful. And it's done. Turned out beautifully. And this is how it turned out. It had a lot of scratches and whatnot, and as you can see, the corners look nice and sharp, yet still feel smooth as they're supposed to. It's done, as you can no doubt see. Feels really nice and smooth. But before I'll paint it, I'm gonna vacuum clean it. After that, I'm gonna go over it with a rag of white spirit to get it ready for paint, and then it's pretty much time to paint it. Alright, so that speaker is finished. Here's the speaker number 2. As you can no doubt see, this one appears to be more rough, but reality is the edges were more rough on the other one. Need to take the sander and use a 40 grit sandpaper, because as you can see, it's quite rough, although it's not as bad as the other one. This speaker is quite a bit damaged in here, and on the other side as well. I'm gonna start off with 40 grit, then I'll continue with 80 grit. And when it comes to spackle, I use the standard stuff to begin with, and once it's almost done, I use fine spackles because it fills up the smaller imperfections. Well, as you can no doubt see, I finally started spackling this speaker box as well. Alright, so as you can see, the first layer of spackle is done. This is the second layer. If you notice by the color, it's fine spackle, and now I'm focused on the small imperfections. However, I'm not done with the standard spackle yet. Need to add more spackle over here and over here as well. Well, alright, now they're pretty much ready for paint, as you can no doubt see. As you can no doubt see, there's quite a bit of imperfections. A lot of spots needed to be filled in with spackle, especially corners, and just take a look. As close to perfect as it gets. With a bounce on that one. Quite a lot of work indeed. Even these holes are repaired. These little plastic grill holders go right in here, and this is the paint I'll be using. Elegant by Beckers, and the color is matte black, just like the original color of the speakers. Alright, so the bottom sides of the speakers are now painted. They're all nice and dry, as you can no doubt see, and it turned out great with 2 layers, which means that the paint is high quality. Just got these fit in the post today. Sonic design. Now these things do 2 things. Number 1 thing is protection. When you place them on the floor, the bottom sides won't get damaged. And the second thing is that they also dampen the vibration, which according to them should provide a better sound with less distortion. These things are designed for a certain weight of speakers, and that weight isn't supposed to be more or less than the design. As you can see, there's different weights. These are for speakers that weigh between 28 and 50 kilograms, and these Yamaha should weigh more than 40 kilograms a piece. Alright, so here they are, nice and painted. I recently got done painting them one by one, of course, not both at the same time. And this is how the drivers look like, as you can no doubt see. And I already removed the grill from this base driver. It was actually glued, and this is how it looks like. This is the back side of it. The edge of this particular driver seems to have been painted with some permanent marker type of thing, while this other one looks to be painted with regular paint, either metal or wood paint, but shouldn't be a problem to remove. I've now removed the wheel of one of the mids. This is how it looks like. I already started working my way through it on this side with a toothbrush, some paper towels, and a universal car interior cleaner. Alright, so this is how the bottom side of them look like with the feet on, as you can no doubt see. I've glued them with Loctite power glue. I've also installed the plastic grill holders, as you can no doubt see, as well as the badges, and the installation is mounted back as it used to sit. The reason why I actually took these 2 sides out of the way was because the initial plan was to remove the entire installation, but then I changed my mind and I vacuum cleaned the boxes on the inside. I'm now working on the terminals, which are on the crossovers of the speakers. Man, did they have to over-exaggerate. The terminal was screwed in with 2 screws, and they used a lot of glue. As you can see, there's quite a bit of a residue left, and I couldn't get the terminal out without basically tearing it apart. Alright, so these are the speaker terminals I'm gonna use, made by Monocore. Alright, so I removed most of the glue residue. I gotta say, it's some very strong stuff. But anyway, this new terminal is rather well built. It has some foam on the back side of it. Great for making the speaker airtight. I'm gonna solder this together. Got my soldering iron warming up. Alright, it's now soldered in place, as you can no doubt see. I did, on the other hand, have to bend these two connections in order for the terminal to get in place. Like it's freaking meant to be in here. Fits wonderfully, the holes aligned and everything. Alright, so the crossover is installed, as well as the fiberglass insulation. This is how it looks like. And they're now finished. I recently got done with them, and this is the final result. It turned out quite nice. I'm very satisfied with the result. These badges, on the other hand, they're a bit weird. From some angle they look grey and you can't see the Yamaha text in all too well, although if you got lower lighting it will actually look pretty much like the stock sticker. See why I'm talking? From this angle it actually looks like the original sticker. But other than that, as you can no doubt see, the drivers are now nice and clean, and I've also touched up the grill from the base drivers, and they pretty much turn out like new, or as close as possible. And this is how the back side of them looks like, as you can no doubt see. And these banana plugs look quite alright. This was the restoration of a pair of Yamaha NS-1000M. Well, they're technically not a pair, they're two either left or right speakers. I believe they're right speakers, but of course they've became a pair. Now I'm gonna end this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, why not? Thumbs up, check out my other videos, and if you like what I'm doing, why not subscribe, and I'll definitely see you in my next video. Cheers.